Okay, so let's look at question 4. So question 4 mentions that you need to show that the equation x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 26 equals 0 has only one real root. Okay, so it is similar to what we have done before. Very first thing you want to do is to factorize the equation. So you want to factorize so that we can solve it after that. Okay, so the very first thing, we let fx be equals to x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 26. Okay, we will just omit the equals 0 for now. Let's look at these parts only. Okay, so we're trying to factorize this part. So remember what I told y'all, we can press the calculator. So from our calculator, we see that we get two values. One of it is -2. The other one you should get 3 plus minus 2 point something I. So there will be an I there, right? Okay, so this I actually just means that they are not real. So these are non-real numbers lah. Okay, so we just ignore it. So in this case, the only option we can choose for the special number is -2. Okay, so once we get the special number, what we need to do is to show this working, which is to substitute -2 into the polynomial. Okay, so we substitute it in, and then when we calculate it, we will get 0. Okay, so you need to make sure that you calculate and get 0. Otherwise, somewhere you may have gone wrong already. So it should give you 0. So the question now is, how do I go and find their factor then? Because once I find a factor, I can use log division, and then I can factorize this polynomial. Okay, so remember, this is actually the reverse process of finding the special number. So now we know the special number is -2. If I want to make the right side 0, it means x plus 2 equals 0. Okay, which means this is going to be the factor. Okay, so x plus 2 is a factor of fx. Okay, so once we have the factor already, the next step we want to do is your long division. Okay, so we write down our dividend, and then we write the divisor, and then we just do our long division. Okay, so the first one's going to be x squared, and then we will have minus 4x minus 2x is minus 6x squared. Sorry, minus 4x squared minus 2x squared is minus 6x squared plus x. So this should be a minus 6. This should be a minus 6x. So we have a minus 6x squared minus 12x. Okay, so x minus 12x is x plus 12x is 13x plus 26. So this should be plus 13. So we will have this, and we will see that it gets 0. Okay, so remember, this has to be 0. Has to be 0. Otherwise, it means somewhere your long division probably you made a mistake. Okay, so now what we need to do is to write it out as the division algorithm. Okay, so this is your quotient, this is your dividend, this is your divisor, and this is your remainder. So remember, your dividend is equals to your divisor multiplied by your quotient plus the remainder. So your dividend is x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 26 equals to your divisor x plus 2. Quotient is x squared minus 6x plus 13. And then remainder, we write nothing because it's just 0. Okay, so now we have factorized it. We are halfway done. Okay, so let's look at the question. They are using an equation. So remember, I told you eventually we still need to work with the equation, just that we are factorizing it to help us to solve it. Okay, so let's look back at the question again. Is x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 26 equals 0. Okay, so we have factorized it. So it's x plus 2, x squared minus 6x plus 13 equals 0. Okay, so remember we have two factors. If I want to solve it, I'm actually writing x plus 2 equals 0 or x squared minus 6x plus 13 equals 0. Okay, so this is a bit like solving a quadratic equation as I told you in class. And so this will give me x equals to 2, so no issues with this. This one, if you get and try, you realize you cannot factorize it. So you cannot factorize means you need to use your quadratic formula. So let me remind you, your A is going to be 1, B is negative 6, C is 13. Okay, and your quadratic formula is x equals to negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so let's just sub it in. Negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay, so what happens is, here we have 6 plus minus. If you get and calculate what's inside the square root, you'll realize you get negative 16. Okay, so what happens when I get negative 16, right? Actually, we know that we cannot square root a negative number. Okay, so what this actually means is, therefore, x squared minus 6x plus 13 equals 0, which is the other part of it. What I'm referring to is this part. So this part has no real roots. Okay, so what this means is, hence, x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 26 equals 0 has only one real root. Okay, so what is this real root? This real root is this number. Okay, so that's essentially how you go about showing that it has one real root. Okay, so if you see, the method is actually very similar to what we have done before, just that the only slight difference is this part. Okay, and then you're concluding that because it is a negative square root, the number this equation has no real roots, and hence overall the cubic equation has only one real root. Okay, yeah, so that's all for this question.